Hello and welcome. I am Mace Kralisek, and I will be bringing you another Wargame Airland Battle replay. The map is Mora, and I am playing my United States non-type deck. Alright. Now, I haven't really played Mora much. I don't really get around to it. I've had some pretty bad experiences on this map back when I was still kind of getting into it after the DLC 1 patch. Every time I'd play it, I'd always get beat or get stuck with bad players or stuff like that. I didn't do a very good job. But now that I've actually got the basics of playing down, I actually had a very good match this game. Went up against some pretty good players and managed to actually really advance pretty far before the game ended. Alright, so we got some riflemen and Humvees and Marines and LAV-25s moving up to Delta to see what they can do. My LAVs just killed some more Skies, BTRs. And as of right now, I have my LAVs engaging in MI8. Kind of pulled a dumb move and moved my OH-58s up a little bit too early, especially since there was Iglas right there. Out of the way, I got my Marines focusing down the Iglas, and my LAVs are engaging more Skies right there. By the looks of it, one of my teammates just got pushed off of Kilo by a BTR spam assault, I'm assuming. I'm not really sure. But he's pulled back to November. One of the CVs is being sent back to India. I sent out one of my intruders. To bomb them. I'm not sure if I got anything. I got 2 squads. Alright. There goes an MI8. That'll come back and get me later, unfortunately. But, oh well. My Marines have been napalmed and my LAVs have been taken out by Yak-38s, unfortunately. I didn't really do a whole lot at Delta. By the time I had realized that my riflemen and my Marines have been kind of overrun, I was already a big fish to fry in Charlie. But here we have an attempt to be seated. Fortunately, one of the benefits of the US deck is that they've got some pretty good non-radar AA, meaning that I can hold my own. It's not great at preventing things from being destroyed, preventing bombers from getting through, but it does its job of making sure they don't get out. Here we see Marines engaging Conquerors and more Skies along with my riflemen. Unfortunately, the Marines are getting taken out here pretty quickly. Here we see more Skies being engaged and destroyed by my M8 AGSs right there. As soon as I noticed those, I realized that they didn't really have any infantry in Charlie. So I bring up some light riflemen Blackhawks to kind of exploit their weakness. Here we see one of my allies, Boba, attempting to go take the town back in Kilo, but being ultimately unsuccessful. You see the Blackhawks moving up. I was going to see if I couldn't... If they tried taking it back, I knew my light rifleman would be able to stall them out a little bit for me to bring up some better tanks, aside from just an M1 IP, Super M60, and 2 M8s. In a bit of a scenic view. One of the things I really love about Wargame is that it looks so good up close. Eugen really gives you a good chance to zoom in on the units and make sure you appreciate like all the time and effort that they put into that. To my knowledge, it's a fairly unique thing to do. But anyways, there was some pretty poor guesswork right here in regards to where my light riflemen were going. They only managed to take out 4 dudes with that run. Unfortunately, there's an MI8 TV about to bear right down on my light rifleman. I thought it still had rockets. Turns out it didn't. But I thought my riflemen were about to get killed. Here we see an SU-27 moving in to see if it can't take on my Blackhawks, and the Avengers miss horribly. Was that right? Yep, that was my Kyle. Here, I'll see if I can't take out that CV with my Blackhawks. The Kula, in my mind, it's a fairly overpriced unit for what it does. It's not very effective. You get 4 Iglas, 2 KH, whatever models, I'm not really sure. But they're semi-active, and they got a 2,975 meter range. They're good for making miners, like the UK, really pay. But if you go up against somebody like the US or West Germany or Sweden, you're not going to have a fun time using those. More often than not, you'll get stun locked and taken out. Enemy's still maintaining a pretty decent lead. It could swing either way right now. It's only a 200 points difference. As of right now, I'm trying to one of my allies was trying to bombard my CV. I'm not really sure what he was doing right there. I think he was either predicting movements or something. Either way, my allies are bringing up CVs, something that I had forgotten to do, and more focusing on... actually, I'm not really sure what I was focusing on right then. What I really should have done is I should have pulled up some more light riflemen to really secure that position. But I wound up not, unfortunately. Here you see riflemen engaging and taking out either another Conqueror squad or another Morskaya squad. And utilizing that wonderful 1,050 meter range M60. Fortunately, there's a yak coming in. This is where things really start to get hectic. Now, the Wargame gods were not with him. His KH-25s missed several times. And neither were the Wargame gods with me, either. I only managed to take out one of them. Note that I only have one sharpened missile left, and I think he still has cooler missiles. So I'm frantically trying to bring up hostile units while Yak's bearing down on me. So the Avengers take that out, pop off their last missile, and all the while I'm cursing at my Avengers to fucking move. And where we also see a friendly fire incident. Don't you just love the Wargame gods? Boy, oh boy. Takes out an entire squad of my light riflemen. I'm not even sure why I curved into the ground, honestly. Oh well. I'm going to see if I can't move up my ranger squads to some forested sections over here or over here. I'll probably put annotations where I want it to be because Shadowplay doesn't really... Shadowplay has my mouse in a weird place. It shows it up and to the right, I believe. Unfortunately. My Avengers made it out alright. And now I'm going to rebuff my air defense network. By and by, the enemy had taken middle pretty handily. There wasn't really a whole lot that could be done about it. I think my ally got rolled pretty hard. It was a two-person venture, I believe. It's actually a pretty expensive combo to be using for helicopter hunting, especially when you've got a number of chaparrals, Rolands, and Avengers running around. Unfortunately, he brought a Tunguska up in this tree line back where my Rangers were going to try and see if they could infiltrate into. So I can't, despite me bringing up an Apache to take out those T-72s, I wasn't really able to do much. With either Apache I brought out, they didn't really. I kind of keep them back. I find that they're great for breaking an offensive's back, but they're way too expensive to be used for just normal target hunting. Got Apprentice charging up, not sure why. Here we see a Hornet completely fail. It was engaged by air defenses over middle, but unfortunately wasn't able to get off that. It was quickly stunned for a second and wasn't able to get off that second missile to take out the T-72B. This is also where that MI8 kind of really bit me in the ass. The Excavator Squad actually was managed to get all the way around here and take out my CV, which I had neglected to put defense for. I'd originally planned to put down my my Blackhawks, but both forgot to, and they got destroyed. Now, had my enemy been a little bit more aggressive, he could have easily taken the forest from me, and then used all his heavy tanks to literally run me over. T-72s and T-80s aren't a force to be reckoned with. Overused have also taken the lead, finally. There's the Excavator Squad. Apaches are engaging with Hydras. This is also where we see the beginnings of a very pitched battle for this mountainside begin. Fortunately, he only brought up Spetsnaz, but had he brought up Sapurs like my ally did, things would have not gone well. Ever since the DLC 2 patch, flamethrower infantry has just been ludicrously overpowered. I actually had a Russian Sapura squad once take out a Challenger 1, and I've got the kill list to prove it. I don't have the replay. Oh well. More SC-24 is coming up. My Ihawk fires once, and I just kind of get the fuck out of there. I don't really see any more seed for the rest of the game. This is also where one of the enemies drops, of course. I'm assuming he had to go because the enemy held the upper hand, and everywhere but left, they held the initiative. Well, my right, their left. Either way, he wasn't really pulling much of the weight over here, aside from a couple helicopters and aircraft. I believe it was De Linz I was facing over here. Regardless, Bova has just merely been spreading his forces out and defensive everywhere else. Especially since mid was easily capitulated. He's picked off now. Second. Here we see Sapor is being engaged by Spetsnaz. I feel like Spetsnaz, had they focused on the Sapors, actually would have won the engagement finally. Especially with that HE6 launcher that they have. They start to flee off to the side, so I move in my assault engineers to cut them off. I wonder what these mortars are. Notice. Not really sure what my teammate was trying to accomplish there, especially when I'm pretty sure he knew that there was a bunch of BMP-3s running around everywhere. Actually, no, he didn't. I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, I'm moving these assault engineers back to see if I can't get some more ammunition, because I thought the fight was mostly over here. I hadn't realized that Who Flung had brought up a whole bunch of Monostrelki in support of those Spetsnaz and VDV. Unfortunately, those VMP-3s that I was firing out earlier got converted to hurt me. Oh, well. Then you win the ones. Spring was a run, so bring up spring rising from the confluence to help them take them out. Fortunately, since they got their BMP-3s either in this bush or this bush, I'm not really sure. I forget. They've entirely locked down. They've entirely locked down this road with 2,800 meter GGMs. I can't bring anything up, and I can't resupply or do anything. Well, I can resupply. I just can't advance. So he brings up even more BMP-3s. I think there was like somewhere around 16 of them. It was a lot of BMPs. My mates get double teamed, and the BMP-3s sink back into the shadows. I'm not really sure what to do while I still have those riflemen up, so in a vain effort to see if I can't take them out, I move up some M1 IPs. Again, I forget about them right here. And 2800 meter HGMs start pounding my Ravens. Thankfully, that last Archon did not hit my lead Abrams. 1 HP would have hurt a lot more than I would have liked. My allies managed to take back the town in Kilo, something that I actually didn't know about. Unfortunately, the Wargame gods are once again not with them, with Prowlers missing 3 out of 4 shots. Nostalgia are engaged with riflemen who manage to get a drop on them and take out one of their squads. Rangers are also moving up in support. Fortunately, seeing 61 Motostralki versus 32 riflemen and only 5 rangers, definitely an option to pull back. So I started moving into subseries to see what they got the enemy Motostralki. There we see the Saipurs in action, completely decimating the Motostralki right over there. All the while, 8 BMP-3s are sitting pretty. I mark it for my teammates, and for me mostly, just to remind myself that there was a lot of stuff right over there. I also bring up a stack of 3 Marines, just as some extra logs to help with the fight. certainly earn back their points. All of them managed to get up to the elite. Supporters are also doing their work. Fortunately, I had a little bit of friendly fire. Nobody got killed, but it certainly hurt the morale. It's also one of those instances where the supporters actually worked against them. Marine reinforcements couldn't enter that area without getting routed, unfortunately. Laws are opening up as even more BMP3s join in the fight. All the while, the lead is opened up to a substantial margin, over 2,000 points. Oh, camera controls. Fortunately, my allies' lines have been breached. And unfortunately, my Raven just barely misses with that arm missile. Nighthawk also managed to use its 29 HE bomb to just completely wipe a good bit of the enemy air defense. This is also where I forget about those BMP3s. All of them managed to take out some more riflemen that I had brought up, unfortunately. I bring out some Eagles to take out those MiG-25s. Immediately get them out of there because I know it's at least 2 Tunguska sitting right there. Not to mention 3 Su-27s bearing down on me. Well, I've been pushing their flank here pretty hard. They managed to push the Foxtrot route through center here pretty hard as well. Now they're trying to desperately bomb likely points. I bring up some M1 IPs to see what I can't do, but it's kind of just token stuff compared to what they're facing. guys also try to lead up some token attacks against T-72B. Unfortunately, did not end well for him. With a massive amount of helicopters coming in, I sent out both my Eagles. Fortunately, however, it was only 9,000 points left. 1,000. It was only about 100 points left to go, and they get the kill on the Su-24, just in time for the end of the game. And with a nearly perfect 3-to-1 ratio. And here's my kill list. And my losses, unfortunately. Alright, see you next time.